It's a little chilly outside, ladies and gents. The S4 can handle it. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. Today, kind of diving into the B9 S4 and S5 platform because I've owned it for over 2 months now and I've put over 2,000 miles on it. So it's definitely become my daily driver. It's become real in the sense that I have owned this car long enough to make kind of a decision on my initial thoughts. As you can already tell, it's my daily, it's covered in snow. It's the winter beater, we'll call it. Wanted to bring you guys this video because I did a similar style video for my S5 and I can't say enough how much I love these cars. So figured why not bring you guys one for the S4 and for the B9 platform because I had the B8.5 and it's just a very different animal. So without further ado, let's dive into it. The B9 platform, specifically the B9 S4 and S5, because they're so similar, I'm gonna group those. The B9 SQ5 has the same motor, so I guess we can group those all in kind of as one. But for the B9 specifically, I want to touch on a few key things. Since we're already out here, let's start with the exterior and go over the updates and a few specific things with the 2019 S4. It's a bit different on the others. So 2019 was kind of a gap year where they updated this front end. They changed this kind of grille area a bit on the 2019. So just for reference, I'll throw up what a 2018 S4 looks like, and you can tell the difference is noticeable. So for the 2019, the front end looks like this. I really enjoy it. I think the front end is super aggressive with the headlights. On the S4s, the headlight styling is different than the S5s, and I 100% prefer the S4 headlight design to the S5 of this generation. Obviously, it's all personal preference, but I just really love how the front end of this car looks. This does have the black optics package, so it has the black front end here, S4 badge, and then this kind of splitter down yonder. I think the front end of this car is by far my favorite right now. And then we do have a splitter on the way for those of you that are familiar with the channel and waiting on mods. I promise they are coming. I did get the front end of this car PPF'd, so we have a little bit of dirt in here. Not quite sure how to clean that or get that out, so I guess we'll wait and see. Proper instructions for that. And then it looks like this is turned into ice, which is good. Moisture under there. So some issues we gotta deal with later on down the road, but at least for now, it is protected. Exterior of these vehicles, I'll be honest, I was a bit hesitant on because I like the look of the B8.5 a little bit better as far as like the lines. These lines aren't my favorite in the body, and then there's almost like even a gap, it seems, in the hood to the fender here. So it's a little odd, but the exterior styling, it still looks sharp. And the rear end too, I just really love. And those sequential turn signals, just a little extra. And the quality of these headlights is nuts. I was driving at night the other night and you can see everything. Obviously the exterior is something that if you Google the car, you can see the difference. So I'm not gonna spend a ton of time on the exterior of the vehicle. The biggest difference from the B8.5 and B8 to the B9 is the interior. And that's one of the biggest points that I'll make on the B9 is the interior is so nice. So if we pop in, the first thing we see is this Audi ring LED light, puddle light, and then I'm actually going to open the door so we get a little better lighting in here to show you guys the interior. This specific package has the carbon inlays right here, carbon all over the place as far as the interior, so it really is everywhere. And this is paired with the flat bottom steering wheel, so no cold weather package on this one. If you get the cold weather package, it has a heated steering wheel, but it's round at the bottom. So I opted to get the flat bottom steering wheel with no cold weather package. So there are a ton of ways to option these cars. Obviously now we're at the B9.5. All the B9s that will ever be made have been made. If you filter your search criteria by the separate packages, you can ultimately find what you're looking for. That's what I did for this one. Ibis white, flat bottom steering wheel, carbon. The only thing this car does not have, which I would have preferred, is the Bang & Olufsen sound system. I honestly can't tell that big of a difference. I think it's totally fine, so I have absolutely no complaints. We'll just turn on the auxiliary power for now to show you guys the infotainment system, the dashboard area, and kind of all the lighting, which is super fun in this car. There are lights underneath here, underneath there, and kind of just like ambient lighting throughout the cockpit. So we have the cup holders here with a couple ring lights. That's got a light around it. And in the dark, this car just looks so cool. Like the cockpit lights up and you can actually change the lighting just by turning this knob over here. So you can have brighter, darker, really just up to your preference. I prefer it bright because I think it just looks crisp. The cockpit just looks so good. There is no check engine light, it's just on because my auxiliary power is on, so no fear there. We do have some pretty nice storage in the B9, as well as this wireless charging kind of phone cradle. So if I put my phone here, which I'm not going to because I'm recording with it, it will wirelessly charge. And then this car also has Apple CarPlay, but it's not wireless, so you have to plug it in, but it's really not that big of a deal. I can't complain about the infotainment system. I think it's great. I ripped some Sirius XM until my trial's expiring, but you switch everything from like the radio, media here, and then the nav, telephone, and then your selection knob is right here. So it's pretty cool. It's very, very driver focused as far as the cockpit. So everything is kind of angled towards the driver. We have the heated seats right here, and then 3-zone climate control. Everything's super, super easy to work. And then one update the B9 has is a really thin bezel or border, I guess you would call it, on the rear view mirror. So a few key updates that really just make this interior special. Now, I know the title of the video is Should You Buy? When I'm researching cars, I want to know gas mileage, I want to know tunability, power potential, everything like that. So I guess we can dive into that. As you can see here, the short-term memory is not what we want. We want long-term memory. 2,151 miles I've driven in this car, averaging 25.6 miles per gallon. So 65 hours, averaging 33 miles an hour. Those are kind of the lifetime stats that I've had with this car so far. That mileage is good. I'll tell you right now, on the B8.5, I got about 22.5 miles per gallon. The fact that we're at 25.6 is really quite good on this car. So the mileage is great. This is a very capable platform and a very tunable platform. So that'll bring me to the next point. And that next point is tunability and modifiability. I think those are two words, but if they're not, we're just gonna roll with it. The 3.0T in this car is nuts. So the tuning potential, the power potential, these companies now have had this platform for 5 years. A lot of research and development has gone into creating this platform and making it very, very tunable, as well as like safe power potential wise. So right now, 034 Motorsport has a 774 horsepower tune for this car. At the time this video is uploaded, I believe that is the highest for this platform right now. That's the TTE 810 turbo. So obviously with some supporting modifications, you're gonna need like a downpipe, bigger injectors, intercooler, exhaust, intake, turbo inlet. Like there's a build list that I can actually provide, and without any discount and before labor, I believe the cost is around $11,000. So you're at supercar performance with a few bolt-ons and a tune, kind of. I believe that is an E60 file that 034 has, so I'm not going to run that. I'm going to be doing a 93 octane file for my car, which is not tuned yet, but will be here very soon. So anyways, the power potential is crazy for this car, and I believe 034 is actually working on a tune that could be 4-digit horsepower. So that's all in the works. Again, not out at the time I'm posting this video, but the power potential is definitely there. I have an intake for this car I'm going to be installing, an exhaust for this car I'm going to be installing, a few carbon fiber parts, and obviously a transmission and ECU tune. So we're going to be doing all that to this car, and it should be right around 440 or 450 horsepower. But with the upgraded turbo, obviously you can go much higher. So it's really just how much you want to invest in the car and how much performance you want out of it. Is it the ultimate daily driver? If you throw any set of snow tires on this, it's going to rip in the winter. Obviously it's done just fine for me. And if you want this car to beat Lambos, it totally can, at least on a drag strip. I can't speak for track performance. I don't track this car. With the modifications and all the aftermarket support with this platform, it's totally possible. So the sky is the limit as far as modifications for this platform, and the B9, S4, and S5 and SQ5 are all the same platform. So they all share the 3.0T. The interior is also very, very nice. So as you see in my car, we have this diamond stitch pattern on the Alcantara and the leather seats. So this is my favorite combo, I'll say that. I was looking at cars with red interior, and I just thought, I don't know if I can do the red like every single day. It's a little much. And my old car had Alcantara, and I just loved it. So this is the ultimate combo I ended up going with, and no complaints at all. Everybody that's been in my car is just admires the interior and really likes it. At the end of the day, you're going to get a car for what you use it for. So anything I say, obviously everybody's going to take it differently. I personally don't have any kids or anything, but I mainly got the S4 versus the S5 because I like the styling better. My old car was the S5, and I liked the B8.5 S5 better than the B8.5 S4. And for the B9s, I just prefer the exterior styling of the S4. So it's a personal preference at the end of the day. If you want the S5 version of this car, go get that. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. There's also an S5 Sportback. Exterior styling is really the only thing that's different on those. And again, I preferred the S4 over the S5 Sportback. So ended up getting this car. I've absolutely loved it for the last 2,100 miles. If you guys have any specific questions, I encourage you to leave them in the comments below. I look at every single comment, and the number one best way to reach me actually is on Instagram. So if you guys are not following already, it's S4KevG. I'll put it on the screen. I check my DMs every single day, so fire away any questions. I know usually when I post videos like this, I get a ton of comments and questions. So this is kind of that 2,000 mile, should you get this car, my initial first impressions, and I can't say enough good things about this car. You can find these cars anywhere from 35 to 45 in American US dollars. Again, that info is accurate as of the time I'm posting this, which is January 2023. And I'll leave off by saying, in my opinion, this is the perfect daily driver, unless you can get your hands on like an RS6 or something like that. I think this is something you can take year round in the snow and just crush it in all seasons of the year. Make crazy power if you want to, and ultimately it's a great looking car. So for the price, the bang for your buck, it's definitely there. If you guys have any other questions, please leave them in the comments below, but I'll leave you guys with that for now. Thanks so much for watching. If you enjoyed, want to see more stuff like this, hit subscribe, hit like for the algorithm. Until next time, we'll see ya.